zone. He wanted to go ahead and push the ball downfield, and that's what they did. And they wound up with good yardage there to get things rolling.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Now the first carry for Bryce Love. And he's going to have a Browns first down as the tackle made it about the 43-yard line.
Usually we'll see runs like this as the defense breaks down later in the game, but this guy is setting the tone early, running through all types of tackles and putting the defense back on its heels.
On 1st and 10, Herbert. He finds his target, Allen. And he'll be out just a yard or two shy of the 30.
I don't mean to jump in on you, partner, but they didn't waste any time getting downfield, did they? I mean, a nice big play there.
3 plays, 3 successful plays in plus territory. Now this defense on its heels a bit.
It seems like they had something targeted there, doesn't it? It's like, okay, we've got a matchup we like coming right out of the gate. Let's go ahead and get right to it.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
So, Charles, you talk about this offense, how well they've played. I mean, the defense, too, really. But they're sitting at 10-0 now on the year. 4-0, 5-0, that's nice. But once you start hitting double digits with these wins and no losses, I think the seriousness of the situation, it just has to ramp up.
Yeah, when you do say 10-0, it can't scare you as a team. Just think about it this way. For most of the year, they've been playing to win their division and get to the playoffs. Now the playoffs are just about a foregone conclusion. So now they have to down-focus their thoughts about getting home field advantage and finishing unbeaten, and they need to make sure they keep it in that order.
My first thought is surprise, because that's one of the better tight ends around, and I've seen him pull in balls like this before. But how about a little credit to the defense forcing that incompletion?
The offense staying out. They're going to go on 4th and 2. They snap it to Herbert. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. The Browns unable to move the chains on 4th down. And the Bengals will get the football back. The Bengals drive about to get going.
And they are losers of 2 straight coming into this Thursday night game. Is it more difficult, CD, when you take a losing streak into a quick turnaround game like this?
It certainly is, because you don't get time to work on the issues that you've had throughout the season that have caused you to have the record that you're having. You can't really get those set. So now you're trying to minimize those and maximize what you've been doing well. And I remember a game recently where one of the assistant coaches said to the head coach, forget our running back rotation. This guy has a hot hand, and they rode him to a victory. Those are things you have to look out for in games like this.
It looks like a nickel set now for the Browns on 3rd down.
Burrow going to fake to mix it, and now look.
Rush coming, and he's taken down. Jadeveon Clowney in there to get him, and on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him.
This offensive line has struggled. In fact, when we sat down with the coach, he said it's been in tatters lately. They allowed 6 sacks in their last game. Just gave up another one right there.
In tatters, so it sounds a little bit like this right now.
Exactly. It's like that paper being ripped. And right now, they've got to find a way to get it back together.
Well, that one a 55-yard punt, 13 on the return.
And the Browns will take over 1st and 10. The Browns drive about to get started. Being checked, and he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. It'll be a loss of 10, and it'll bring up 2nd.
When you see a quarterback retreating away from the line of scrimmage toward the other goal line like that, usually doesn't end well.
You're exactly right about that. Normally, if they're moving from side to side, they've got a chance maybe to get back upfield. He was trying to shake defenders and extend the play, but it doesn't work out very well for them at all. You need those extra yards on the other side of the line of scrimmage. Now you're digging a hole for your offense.
On 1st down, Justin Herbert. The Bengal pressure gets him that time. Down he goes. Trey Hendrickson in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year. No score after 1 on EA Sports. And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19 from the 50. Here's Herbert.
Open man is Kyle Pitts, his tight end.
And he's got another first down as the tackle's going to be made at the Bengals' 25-yard line. Now Herbert with it, looking to pass. Letting one go deep for the end zone. And this is caught. Touchdown, Cleveland.
Kyle Pitts.
His 11th touchdown of the year as his guys are on the board first here tonight.
Extra point by McCann, up and good.
And it's now a 7-0 game.
Bengals nothing.
Boy, I guess they're going to keep trying to put the pedal to the metal here. They're going to try an onside kick. Now the Browns will use the first of their 3 timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. Following the touchdown, here's McLaughlin to kick off. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Bengals drive about to get going. They've shown precious little here offensively thus far as they try again with a first down now. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26.
You know, if following up on this head coach and the pressure that he is under, CD, I want to switch it to you because you've been on winning teams, but I know you've been in similar situations too where things just are not going well. How do you approach that as a player?
It's a tough approach, Brandon, because you actually have to do the opposite of what you would think. You know, in your mind, you're thinking, I redouble my efforts, I go harder. In a sense, you have to back off a little bit. You have to do a little bit less. Do what you're supposed to do, but don't take on the pressures of doing more and trying to do your teammates' jobs as well. If you do that, that's really going to lead you to more issues.
Burrow on play action. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted.
Picked up by Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah.
And this return is going to be halted right around the 28-yard line.
Boy, he had to fit that into a pretty tight window over the middle. And, Charles, I think they were in zone defensively, weren't they?
They certainly were. Nice read on your part. And sometimes the quarterback isn't fooled between zone and man. Sometimes just fooled by the type of zone that he sees. Because oftentimes, those linebackers will vacate and run downfield with receivers. In this case, he played a pure zone and was in the wrong spot for the QB.
And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Cleveland. Justin Herbert taking it in from 7 yards away. And the Browns are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead.
Extra point by McCann, up and good.
And that'll make the score 14-0. Following the touchdown, here's McLaughlin to kick off. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Bengals drive about to get going. And following the interception, we'll see what they can put together on this drive.
I can hear my old college coach right now. He always used to tell us before every game, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. What they're hoping is that that last mistake is their only one of the game.
Coaches, that's all they talk about, turnovers, right?
Minimizing those and maximizing opportunities.
A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13.
Burrow going to give this to Mixon.
And the running lane's non-existent in this first half as they'll stop him behind the line. 3rd and 15 coming up after that loss of 2.
The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the first half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
How about some applause for the defense there? They forced him to throw that one into coverage, and just like that, they're staring at a 4th down. Well done.
On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. They'll score that a 36-yard punt, and possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. The Cleveland offense ready to go.
As mentioned, this one of the hottest teams in the NFL, riding that winning streak into this one, but now playing here on Thursday night. Do you think that this helps or hurts their momentum?
Well, ordinarily,
and all the way in, touchdown, Cleveland.
And CD, we have seen some great runs the last few times we've been together, but I think we can at least put this one in our top 5. That was a determined gallop there. Extra point by McCann, up and good.
And that makes the score 21-0. Following the touchdown, here's McLaughlin to kick off. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Bengals drive about to get going. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here, or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either.
Now a good job shifting right, finding his target.
And time to give some credit to the big fellas, the offensive line here, because you've got to have good protection on crossing routes, because you got to give the receiver time to work all the way across the field. That time, be able to scan the field, spot his receiver moving left to right, and make a good, accurate throw. Thank you, guys.
Oh, this one incomplete. The pressure got to him as he released it. And it's 2nd down.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync.
And a big loss here as he's taken down. Myles Garrett in there to bring him down, and that is sack number 17 now on the season.
So that'll leave Burrow and the Bengals with a 3rd and long after that sack we just saw.
Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
Coverage was awfully tight there on 3rd down. They actually closed off all the passing lanes, forcing the incompletion and bringing up 4th down.
So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. On the return is Cohen. 1:55 left to go in the first half of play. Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend. Herbert on 1st down now.
And that one off the mark behind him, incomplete. This, the second meeting of these two teams. You might recall they met back in Week 5. And it was the visiting Browns who got the victory then, so they'll look for the season sweep here in Cleveland.
To throw on 2nd and 10. Herbert. Throw left side complete. That's Cohen. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or 2 shy of the 40. Herbert setting up to throw on 1st down.
That's caught left side to tight end Pitts.
And he gets us down inside the 35 before going out of bounds.
Well, that's always a good place to throw it just because he's one of the biggest targets not only on this team but in the National Football League.
And you and I both know the quarterbacks love these large-bodied tight ends.
And this is caught. And all the way in. Touchdown, Cleveland.
Kadarius Toney
with touchdown number 7 on the year.
And the Browns continue to pull away here in this first half. Extra point by McCann, up and good. And a rout is on here in this first half. Following the touchdown, here's McLaughlin to kick off. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Bengals drive about to get going. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
Well, you know how in baseball when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Play action. It's Burrow. This goes out wide from Mixon. A second juke. And he'll be out of bounds right at the 40.
When you're struggling on offense, you're looking for anything possible to get you going. Sometimes you do it like basketball teams that don't normally press. You put a press on, bring people to life, make them move a little bit quicker. Maybe that'll help them as they head towards the half.
And an incomplete pass. That'll stop the clock here with just under a minute to play in half number one. An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Out of the gun, it's Burrow. Oh, into a sea of defenders and intercepted. Picked off by Jair Alexander. And they'll set up shop in enemy territory at the 45-yard line. An unfortunate sequence there, trying to get points before intermission, but now the interception, and their opponents have a chance to possibly pad their lead.
Yeah, they had an opportunity there, and they weren't able to capitalize on it, and that's something that could come back and haunt them later. They're begging their defense now to keep them from scoring before the half ends.
And he's going to get this inside the 30.
Here's Herbert. Got this complete to the tight end Pitts.
It's so close. He gets it to the 1. Out of bounds right there.
And that's a nice job of working his way open down in the red zone. Looked that one in and then made a beeline for the pylon. He didn't quite get there, and you want to give him a little extra for the effort. But instead, he sets his guys up in excellent shape for a 1st and goal.
He'll get just a yard on the scramble. It's 2nd down.
Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see. Second down and goal. Herbert.
And that's going to be caught for a Browns touchdown.
Tariq Cohen in the final seconds of the first half. And the Browns will extend their lead here just before halftime. Extra point by McCann, up and good. And that will extend this big lead. So 6 seconds, all that remains of this first half as the kick is away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Bengals drive about to get going. And only 6 seconds on the clock, so time likely for just one play.
Rolling to his left. And his throw here is incomplete.
So we've reached halftime here on a Thanksgiving night as we send you down to Orlando where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach.
Final adjustments being made for the second half. Whether they'll amount to much in a game that's already pretty well decided, well, that's another question. Nevertheless, let's get you back out to Brandon and Charles.
Okay, Coach, thanks. Yeah, that's something to consider. Are we in for more one-way traffic here in the second half? It has not been a competitive game to this point.
The Browns are going to get the second half kickoff, and they've got this lead as well as we are back and underway.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Browns drive about to get started. And it's hard to imagine that the first half could have gone any better for them. So what's the approach here in the second half?
Just continue to play smart football because they get the other team down and they feel good about the position they're in. The obvious thing people would say is just keep attacking, but I think you also have to be smart about it. Avoid turnovers. That's about the only thing that can derail you at this point. Attack, but make sure you take care of the ball.
Trey Hendrickson, the one who gets him on the ground. The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. They try again with Cohen. And he'll be tackled at about the 35.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
And the throw there going to be incomplete. Not his best throw there, but where we sit right now in the third quarter, he's had a pretty good game throwing the football.
He certainly has, and it's not exactly at the point where we're doing 4-minute offense yet, but they've got to think about, I'm not going to say milking the clock, but understanding clock management here on out.
They call that a punt of 38 yards officially, and the Bengals will take over here 1st and 10. The Bengals drive about to get going. They are right now just ice cold. I mean, they have struggled big time in this game, and they're getting blown out. How do they adjust?
So tough because we always talk about it being a team game, and you need all 11 working well together. But every now and then, partner, you need that one guy who can make a play against all odds that maybe can ignite things. And I think that's what they're looking for right now.
Yeah, you talk about going to your playmakers. They probably need to do it.
Find someone that you're used to touching the football that makes big plays and give them that opportunity to maybe wake up everyone else.
And not much. Maybe a yard up to the 29.
Well, that's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball.
And force the incompletion on 1st down. Then you're able to shut down the running play on 2nd.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now. A little bit of pressure going at the quarterback in an expected passing situation.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. They go play action with Burrow. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
Well, this is just a continuation of what we saw in the first half. So much for the fresh start to begin the third quarter. Still off-target throws, no rhythm throwing the football, and obviously no touchdown scored in this game.
Here comes Cohen. And he goes out of bounds just shy of the 45. A terrific return. 30 yards all in all. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. The Cleveland offense ready to go. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you've called before, realize it hasn't worked
Go to
so
something
well,
else.
and maybe try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the...
Oh, that's into a sea of bodies, and it's intercepted.
Picked off at the 46. Well, this D, particularly the secondary, has been picked apart at points here tonight. They finally, though, get to the quarterback, get a pick.
And we know this about him. He loves night games, loves the spotlight, loves being the center of attention. I will bet you that he ran off the field almost chuckling to himself. They finally got one. They finally got me.
He'll wind up getting right about 4 there on the scramble, and it's 2nd down.
How about a tip of the cap to the defense? They're working against a very mobile quarterback, but all day long they've kept him under wraps. And on that play, they held him to a short gain.
Meanwhile, this one knocked down in the backfield. It's incomplete.
You know they wanted, you know they expected. They needed him to be sharp coming out after the half. Unfortunately, he's missed his first 3 throws. I wonder if he got out late and missed his warm-up time.
The whole team did come out a little bit later than usual. I don't know, maybe there's something to that.
Must have been a heck of a halftime speech.
Yeah, maybe just trying to rally the troops back from this deficit.
There's a nice pickup right there, and after watching that play, I'm thinking about all the lost opportunities that they've had so far in this game. But right now, just focus on continuing.
Now Burrow loses the football. And this is picked up by the Browns. He's at the 50. He's at the 30. Past the 20. And it's a tremendous return as they finally get him at about the 10-yard line. He let one slip away last week as well, so now 2 fumbles lost in as many weeks.
Well, we were out at practice, and we watched him work. And what did his quarterback coach talk about all week?
Being a two-hand monster. And this is caught. Touchdown, Cleveland. Keenan Allen, his 14th touchdown now on the year. And the Browns take advantage of field position on the turnover to cash this one in. Extra point by McCann, up and good, and it is 42-0. Following the touchdown, here's McLaughlin to kick off. Now it's Patterson. And his guys will get the football right at the 20-yard line.
At their own 20-yard line.
The Bengals drive about to get going. And they'll be looking to atone for last time's mistake of fumbling inside the red zone. Certainly they don't want to do that again.
And so much emphasis placed on red zone offense. I mean, you have periods devoted in practice just for that because everyone knows how vital it is to put points on the board when you've entered that part of the field. And to come away with nothing, that's difficult for a team to handle.
And difficult, and now we'll see if they can make it less difficult on themselves on this drive. From the 24, Burrow. He'll find his running back, Joe Mixon. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. A big play there on the catch and run. The offense has to love that because that was just a dump down, and then he turned something out of seemingly nothing.
And the best quarterbacks understand that dumping it down is often a good play, a better play than even what was drawn up.
And he coughed it up. And the ball ends up out of bounds, so it'll be a loss on the play. You can almost see inside his face mask there the look of relief. He coughed it up, but it goes out of bounds. They keep it.
Someone carrying around the lucky horseshoe, aren't they? If I were him, I'd go out and play the lottery after that one. A very fortunate man.
And they're operating in plus territory here. They're thinking points. Definitely don't want to lose the football at this juncture. He's going to let this go. Back of the end zone. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long way out there, but it'll be third down.
Well, you got to think that sooner or later, they're going to hit one of those, but the coverage has been excellent thus far, and it was again on the last play.
To the air again, Burrow. He'll air this one out for Boyd, and that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up fourth down.
What we've seen so far in this game, they are not going to allow a big shot over the top. You can have whatever you want underneath. They'll give you that, but they're not going to let you beat them deep.
I guess they figure they got to start taking some chances. Here's a big one in this third quarter as they'll go for it on fourth down. They'll try and throw for it with Burrow. And he's brought down. Can't do anything with the football. It's a sack and a turnover on downs. The Bengals try it, but it doesn't work out. And this defense will take over right at midfield. So good starting field position for him here as they come up 1st and 10 right at the 50-yard line. And he'll work this forward for about 3 at second down. 3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Here's Herbert. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. With that grab, he now sits at 200 for his career, and maybe more importantly, a first down. Herbert off of play action. And he will find his man Schwartz. That's complete. 2 big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal. Herbert. And it's caught. And just shy of the goal line as he's out of bounds right at the 1. They'll contain him to just 4. Second down. They come out 5 wide. 3 of them to the right side. On second and goal. Herbert. And it'll be intercepted. Trey Flowers picks it.
And the Bengals are going to get the football here as the ball will come out to the 20.
This defense figured out something in the locker room. That's 2 third-quarter picks now.
And you just wonder, did he get too comfortable in the locker room himself? His team has the lead. Take care of the football. He's putting them in jeopardy right now.
And they go play action now. Burrow. He'll rifle this one deep right side.
And that ball going to be intercepted yet again.
Picked off by Jair Alexander.
And the Browns are going to take over once again at their own 25-yard line. Things just kind of continuing to unravel for them here in this second half. They take the shot downfield, but this defense once again up to the task.
Well, this is where you think about the old phrase, desperate times call for desperate measures.
And he's going to lose yardage here, as they will switch ends as time is run out on this third quarter of play. And we're back now here in Cleveland. Now following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the fourth quarter. A very one-sided affair. He's going to launch this thing way downfield. He's got a man complete. And all the way down to the 40-yard line. A big play that time for Cleveland. So the big play moves him all the way across midfield to the 40 now for 1st and 10. A play fake, and now Herbert to throw. Escaping the pressure right. He's going to look for Allen now, the deep ball. And he is all the way up past the 25. Not the best of plays there as a quarterback. You're right-handed, rolling left, trying to throw it that far downfield.
I remember a coach of mine saying, son, that's the equivalent of trying to get the car keys out of your pocket with your opposite hand while you're trying to run. You just can't do it. On any explosive run, you can almost feel the ground shaking, and that's from the offensive linemen creating space for their runners. I had an old coach tell me before, they always told his runners, run around the offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking so you don't trip and fall when it happens in a game.
A good gain on first has him set up with 2nd and just a couple of inches now from the 29. They're passing here. Joe Burrow.
Oh, not sure he saw the linebacker there as that's batted down and incomplete.
At this point in the game, they've got to continue to try anything they can. They're still working at it, even though this one feels like a lost cause.
The offense on 3rd down tonight, just 1 conversion and 8 tries. Not good. They're looking at 3rd and a few inches. They give to Mixon to try to pick it up.
And Mixon not going to get there. Running into a wall here, and they'll stop him short.
A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th. They run for it with Mixon, and nowhere to go. He's going to be stopped behind the line. Denied on 4th down is Joe Mixon. And the Browns are going to get this thing back. Excellent field position. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. He's going to dump that off to his running back, Cohen. And they'll get this one to about the 20-yard line. On 1st and 10, Herbert.
That's going to be caught by Pitts. And the Browns are going to be looking at 1st and goal as they move this down to the 4-yard line.
A shotgun snap for Herbert. And that's going to be caught for a Browns touchdown.
Kyle Pitts
with his 3rd touchdown so far, number 13 now on the year.
And the Browns add on to their lead, and it's looking like that win streak is going to extend another week.
Oh, I was just about to say he hadn't missed an extra point all season, but there it is. His first miss, no good. Now he's back out there to boom this one away, maybe with some frustration after the PAT miss. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Bengals drive about to get going.
We certainly had a sense coming in here that these guys were in for a tough one on the road. That has been how this ball game has played out. They trail big as we continue on now here in this fourth quarter.
Tackled there by Monte Nicholson. And the trend continues here in the fourth like it was in the first, second, and third. He's had nowhere to run.
And you're probably thinking to yourself, why do they keep feeding him the football? Well, they trust him first and foremost. They do believe that over time he might actually pop one of these runs. But bottom line is he takes care of the ball well for them, so they'll keep handing it to him.
And he is finally out of bounds, just shy of the 5, all the way down at the 6.
92 yards on the ground for him now as he has gotten better, really, as the night's going on.
They'll give it to Mixon. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. No gain on the play that time, and it sets up 2nd and goal.
What a game this defense continues to play, huh?
Yeah, they've been aggressive from the first snap, and they've controlled this ball game. But right now, if you're on the other side of the ball, you got to match that aggressiveness.
And he'll take this into the end zone for a Bengal TD. Joe Burrow, his 14th touchdown now on the year.
And the Bengals are finally on the board here in the fourth quarter. Extra point by McPherson, up and good
as they make the score just a slight bit more respectable here in the final quarter of play.
After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away.
On the return, it's Tariq Cohen.
And not a great return here. He'll make it back only to the 10-yard line.
The Browns drive about to get started.
And they just continue to roll right along, really. This has the looks of yet another victory as they hope to polish it off here in quarter number 4. Meanwhile, Herbert's throw there complete to Allen.
And he'll have this past the 30 prior to going out of bounds.
Well, nothing but praise from me for this offense. They have been tremendous all night long. They knew what they had to do to unlock the defense. And let's face it, this has been a master class in offensive football that we've been here to witness.
On first down, they look downfield, and it's complete. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. A big connection on that one. 30 yards.
On first down, it's Herbert.
Ball hit as he throws there, incomplete.
They've given up a few first downs on this drive, but getting the incompletion there, that should give them something to build on and maybe turn the tide.
Here's 2nd and 10.
Play action. It's Herbert.
He's got his pass-catching tight end. That's Pitts.
And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly. Now the Browns offense will stay on the field as they'll go for 2 here. Now the Browns will use the first of their 3 timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this.
McCann for the point after.
Now this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. Following the touchdown, here's McLaughlin to kick off. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Bengals drive about to get going.
And they unfortunately are staring at a mini losing streak developing, trailing here in the fourth quarter. This would be their 3rd straight defeat.
And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35.
Well, that last run makes this a 100-yard night. I've loved the way he's hit the holes. He's been quick, he's been decisive, and he's been a whole lot of fun to watch.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Bengals in possession of the football here as we get you reset. They've got a 1st and 10 as they search for a late score. Now a desperation throw deep downfield.
And this is dropped. Oh, it's incomplete. He had a big gainer in his sights, but he could not reel it in.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, fourth quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. And they come with a jet sweep here as Burrow just taps that forward.
And he is going to lose yardage here.
Well, I think the hope is, with a touch pass like that, then maybe you catch the defense off guard, but they were all over that one.
And it is the kind of play that works better against certain defenses, and this clearly was the wrong one to run into. Really nice job getting him down behind the line of scrimmage.
On third down, Burrow. And this is going to be incomplete.
That incompletion is not a surprise with the way that this one has gone, and the frustration of body language is evident everywhere. This team, they've really been put through the ringer in this one.
And they're indeed going to go for it here on fourth down. So trailing here in the last quarter. Let's see how this plays out. He's got his man. That's Sample, the tight end. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35.
Well, this game is certainly pretty well over. They go ahead and mark it in the win column. But as a defense, they don't want to get so soft now that everybody just throws the ball all over the place against them, gets big yardage, and puts points on the board. They have pride, too, on that side of the ball.
A final shot now for Burrow. Eluding the pressure right. And it's intercepted at the goal line.
Picked up by Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah. And the Browns come up with a late turnover, but it will probably only matter to the statisticians as this ball game is now officially over.
Well, Charles, it's one thing to win.